Thanks for tuning in to the third episode of the Worship Guitar Tutorial. Today is going to be all about solos, soloing in a worship setting, and finding your place in a mix. I think the best place to start with soloing is if there is a solo on the song already, to try and learn it as best as you can. You can try to emulate their exact tone and feel and sound, and this is going to add a lot to your playing style and ability, and you can still add your own flavor into it as well. Next, you need to look at the instrumentation of your band. If you have a very small team, it's probably going to be best just to play rhythm and skip the solo for now. A lot of mainstream worship bands like Hillsong, Bethel, and Elevation, they have really large teams, tracks, and pads to create a really full sound so that the lead guitar only has to worry about playing the solo. But in a smaller band setting, you're going to have to pick and choose which parts to play best to best serve the team. So if a solo is being introduced into a song that doesn't normally have a solo, it can be very easy to get lost and just stop playing. So here's a couple tricks that I do to help you work your way through it. When in doubt, you can always play the vocal melody over a solo. This is a really good technique because everybody in the congregation is going to know what you're playing, and they can even sing along with it too. If it's multiple passes of the same chorus, you could even add a little bit of your own embellishments the second time through and really make it your own. Stay around the major scale or the minor pentatonic. These have a lot of very safe notes that will sound good in a solo and won't stick out too much. Try to not do any sort of bends or anything too fancy during a solo. Bends in a worship context are very, very hard to pull off. If you do want to bend the string, I would suggest bending it only a half step, from the 7 to the 1 or from the 3 to a 4. That fits in a lot better than a full step bend. Something I've done a lot is practicing beforehand with the track or practicing with a looper pedal. Looper pedals are so great because you can play whatever progression you want underneath and just keep soloing over it as many times as you want until you find a solo that you like. If you absolutely blank when the solo comes, try and find the tonic and just work around that using the notes 1, 2, 3, and 7. Out once you get a feel for where you're at on the fretboard. So there you have it. Those are just a few examples of working your way through a solo in a worship setting. Now, the more you practice your major scales and pentatonic scales, the more you can get out of that little box on the fretboard and actually work up and down using the scales that you've learned.